won one race back in 2020 here in our weekly show. Can he make it a perfect sweep in the Big Adventure RV Weekly Racing Series 2 years in a row? He will start on the inside. Chase Domer on his outside, and it is neck and neck, barreling off into turn number one as we get this one underway. And here comes Dylan McCowan. He's riding the high side just to the right hand of Terry Kirk. Side by side, first three rows, that's how we started, and that is how we will exit turn four. Terry Phillips with a slight advantage at the line.
Terry Phillips, Chase Domer, the Nevada, Missouri number 227 in that second spot as they come around third. That belongs to the 15, or the 155 of Terry Kirk, the Urbana, Missouri native. Two wide going into turn three.
Terry Phillips leads the USMTS point standings right now as he has 2 wins on the season. He won at RPM Speedway. He won at Hamilton County as well. He's made 23 all to himself. Chase Domer on the inside of row 2 and McCowan on his outside. Green flag in the air. Back to racing action, and TP a great start as he will get a 3-car length advantage over Domer.
It is the 75 of Terry Phillips pulling out to a lead. Chase Domer and Dylan McCowan second and third as they come through. Jason Pursley, the 38, the principal in that 4th spot as they come around. It is Phillips starting to pull away.
And if you're able to hear us on the PA speaker, I'm going to direct your attention to mid-pack. The only car out of line is Matt Johnson. He has gone top side, and look at this run. He gets off the turns as he gets up on that cushion. He is riding the razor's edge on the top side, and he is making some big moves as he continues to tear through the field. He started back in 12th, and he is 1 spot out of the top 5, only 4 laps in.
Matt Johnson, the former Domino's Pizza sponsor, fast delivery over to Adrian Speedway and former champion at Adrian Speedway. Now no longer, of course, but man, it is Matt Johnson always fast when he comes to Wheatland.
TMR Technology sponsors Scott Bailey engine. He used to be the Rookie of the Year in the MLRA, and he won the 2017 Diamond Nationals. Had a top 10 last year. 2 wins back in 2019. Terry Phillips has built up a 1.7 second advantage over Chase Domer. Then it's about a 1.6 second deficit for Dylan McCowan behind Domer. Then you've got Jason Pursley and Matt Johnson, who is now up in the top 5, running just to the outside of Terry Kirk.
It is Matt Johnson still weaving his way through the field on that high side, doing a great job as Terry Phillips, the front of the pack, showing the way so far here tonight. Chase Domer trying to reel him in, but cannot so far.
So Phillips, Domer, McCowan, Pursley, Kirk, your top 5. Now Johnson's jumped up in front of Terry Kirk as Kirk drops back to 6th. Buttonbuck Ryan Middaw in 7th. Kyle Thompson, Peyton Phillips, and Evan Hubert now your top 10. Terry Phillips now has a half a straightaway advantage over Domer, and he is half a straightaway from catching up to lap traffic as he will see the cross flags this time by. The first car that would go a lap down right now is Toby Ott. Again, this is the first time Ott has turned laps in this modified. Used to be the street stock driver, makes the decision to go up to the mod division, and that's a big jump. I mean, you see a lot of guys go from a street stock maybe to a B mod, but he goes straight to the modified. A lot of more horsepower in that machine, and he is just kind of turning laps, making sure the car is dialed in. And once Terry Phillips gets caught up to lap traffic, we are at the midway point. He's going to have a lot of lap traffic he's going to have to navigate.
Absolutely. It's going to be the best chance Chase Domer is going to have to reel in the 75 of Terry Phillips as they come around. This time it is Toby Ott, the 27. And like you said, first time he just got that modified back, and this first time it's done laps anywhere. So it's he's doing a great job keeping and making the A main here tonight.
Terry Phillips out in the USMTS division, as they did have a week off. The point standings, the way they sit right now, the Summit USMTS National Championship, fueled by Casey's. Terry Phillips leads by only 10 points over Derek Ramirez. Rodney Sanders is 3rd. Tanner Mullins back in 4th. He's getting ready and geared up for the USMTS show that'll be coming up here later on during the year, and he has already gotten around Tobiat. Good fight, back for third now. That's the next real competition we have, as McCowan pinches down on Jason Pursley. Matt Johnson right there as well. A good 3-car battle, back for third. McCowan high side, Pursley low side, and right now Matt Johnson just trying to figure out which one he wants to navigate. Does he want to go through the middle? Does he want to go up top? He's going to choose the middle lane. See if he can make some hay there, trying to split the wicket between those two white cars. Again, that is a battle for third. It is owned by Dylan McCowan now. Now Johnson dives inside of Dylan McCowan. Can he pull the crossover slide job up in front of McCowan? He can. He will go from fifth up to third as he clears both McCowan and Jason Pursley. Johnson, the big-time mover in this, has gotten up to third. Terry Phillips still leads Chase Domer down to just a couple of laps left. The only chance anyone is going to have to catch TP is if a caution comes out or Terry has some bad luck. Right now, it does not look like bad luck is in the cards for the 75, as he will get the 2 to go this time around. Still continuing to navigate lap traffic and having no issues at all. He gets the move over flag from Mike Striegel up on top of the flag stand for all of the lap traffic, and they are abiding, giving Terry Phillips the line that he wants on the low side of the track. One more time around for Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri. The Andes Frozen Custard Machine, ice cold here tonight, as he is well out in front. He blew the competition away in the heat race earlier on, and with one more turn to go, he will make a left hand off of turn 4, and the checkers fly for Terry Phillips, who will pick up the feature win. He destroys the rest of the competition as he wins over Chase Domer by 2.5 seconds.
Well, thank you. This is a new car that I've never drove before, so I had another guy driving it, and he told me it wasn't very good, but I'm going to have to argue with him on that. It's pretty good. So, no, we just did a little testing here while we didn't have any traveling shows to go to. So, the track was good shape, best I've seen it in a while. Thanks for the people coming out. That's a pretty good crowd. So, thanks everybody on the car here, and GRT chassis here. They're still digging.
One of the classes that you watch just for sheer enjoyment and entertainment, as they put on a great event when they come out. Missing Derek Brown tonight, who won back in week 1, but week 2 winner David Hendrix starting on the outside, and it is a 3-car log jam up front with Keller to the inside of Hendrix and White right behind them. Back in third, you see those front left tires bouncing up off the track. Shows you what kind of horsepower they have. May not be the handling that you typically get with a modified or a late model, but David Hendrix, a slight advantage after lap 1.
Hendrix with the lead as they come around. In that second spot, Doug Keller. Keller, the Easton, Missouri native, up by St. Joe, Missouri. In that second spot as they come around, it is Rob White Jr. from Lebanon, Missouri, in that 574. As they roll through here tonight, third, it is the 91. We saw them with a great battle a little earlier. That is Jalen Wettengal from Topeka, Kansas. Great job so far as the Buckhorn Bullet shoots out of the gun.
Well, Doug Keller talked to him about the whole point situation with this USRA Stock Car division. He said, yeah, it's a long haul for me to get from home to Wheatland, Missouri, but he is willing to make that sacrifice, put the extra miles on the car hauler, and come down here because he realizes he could go closer to home, but with smaller car counts, you just don't get the points that you typically would by coming out and having a 13-car field. He said there was one event he was scheduled to go to. He left the car, or left home, got in the car hauler, went to the track, was on the road for about 2 hours, and the track called and said, hey, we don't have enough cars for a show tonight. I mean, that's how bad it had gotten in some of the other areas. So he's willing to make the sacrifice and come out here and run against some good competition. And yeah, he could go as a spin in turn 2. And that is Phillips in the number 21, Darren inside, Rob White Jr. on the outside.
Still got to get to that orange cone together before they can start the pass. Here they come. Green flag this time from Striegel.
Hendrix will drift up top, and with the restart, Rob White Jr. takes advantage of the outside. He is able to clear Doug Keller it had been all Hendrix and Keller the first 5 laps. Now Keller is a good 2 car lengths behind Rob White Jr., who is looking to the inside, and he is trying to become the 3rd winner in 3 races in this O'Reilly Auto Parts USRA Stock Car Division. Looking to the inside of Hendrix.
David Hendrix of 54, the Buckhorn Bullet on point. Of course, as Shane was saying, he is one of 2 winners in this class so far this year. It's
White Jr.'s choice, and he chooses the inside. Will he be able to make that line work where the outside was better on the last restart? Looks like he can right now, as he is able to keep a nose out in front. And as he does that, Lyle Dietrich, the Urbana Slamma, in the number 13, looks to the inside of Doug Keller.
It is David Hendrix, the Buckhorn Bullet, the 54, coming around out of turn number 4 with the lead. Rob White Jr., the 541, in that 2nd spot. Doug Keller in 3rd in that 7 car as they come around. But here comes the 13. That is Lyle Dietrich. Dietrich Bolivar, Missouri, looking side by side with Keller.
Dietrich stays with a nose out in front through turns 3 and 4. This time at the line, it'll be Doug Keller with the slight advantage over Dietrich. Trying to nose him up a little bit more, trying to get Keller out of that groove even more than he was earlier. And this time I think it might do Dietrich enough good to stay out in front, as he is indeed able to grab a spot away at least that time through the scoring circuit, as that completes lap number 9.
Top 5 cars starting to pull away from the pack here tonight. David Hendrix way out front, but he has got the 5. Whoa, damage over on turn number 2, the 24. Or 2A, excuse me.
Well, no, that's Craig.
541 as he comes around. Yellow light is out. Green flag will fly this time out of turn number 4. Green flag in the air.
Does Rob White Jr. have anything for David Hendrix? That number 5 machine finished 2nd last night. Rob White Jr. was not the pilot of it, however, as he handed the keys over to his son, Brian, who drove it last night to a 2nd place finish at Dallas County Speedway. And he is down 2 car lengths, as it is now a 3-car battle. Seems like every restart, Doug Keller just continues to go the opposite direction. He went up in the air that time as he made contact with Jalen Wettengale. But at one time, Doug Keller was 2nd. On the restart, Rob White took the position away. The next restart, it wasn't quite on the restart that Dietrich grabbed a spot away. It took him a couple laps, but now it is Jalen Wettengale who has worked up to 3rd, as he has been able to clear both Doug Keller as well as Lyle Dietrich. And Jalen Wettengale still in the midst of a huge 3-car battle for 3rd.
Wettengale coming through, as Shane said, that 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. This time, now it's going to be Dietrich. Dietrich takes that 3rd spot back away. It is still David Hendrix up front and the 5 of Rob White Jr., but the battle for 3rd continues. You can throw a blanket over those top 3.
Jalen Wettengale passed 2 cars to get up to 3rd. Now he's given up those 2 positions. He is back to 5th. As we have the cross flags in the air, we are midway through our 25-lap feature for the stock cars.
Hendrix still on the point, brings him around. This time, lap number 14 will go in the books with David Hendrix, the Buckhorn Bullet, your leader, the 5 of Rob White Jr., the Lebanon, Missouri native, in that 2nd spot. These top 2 pulling away from the field this time. 10 to go, Shane, this time as they come through.
Rob White starting to cut into that lead just a little bit, as it was 0.9 seconds. Now it's 0.8. If you cut off a 1/10 of a second a lap and you got 10 laps left,
it's going to be
going to make it fun at the end. Your point standings right now, David Hendrix leads Derek Brown by only 4 points, but have you noticed? Derek Brown's not in the house, so he's going to lose a huge chunk. If David Hendrix wins, you get 100 points. You're not here, Derek Brown doesn't get any, so that negative 4-point advantage or disadvantage that Derek Brown has all of a sudden gets really big if you're not showing up for an event and your point leader shows up every time. As you see, David Hendrix, good view of him there up on the Jumbotron over in turns 1 and 2. He's going to start to catch up with lap traffic, the first of which would be Ace O'Neill, the youngster in the number 2A. And David Hendrix is getting to him really quick off of turn 4. And there's Rob White Jr. again. Rob White would love to grab a win here tonight, become the third different winner in this O'Reilly Auto Parts Stock Car division, as David Hendrix inches closer to Ace O'Neill. Ace will go up higher on the track, gets just a little bit squirrely, has to lift off the gas, and allows David Hendrix to get by him relatively easy. And Rob White will be afforded the same opportunity, as Ace O'Neill will clear a path for him as the top two cars get through that first lapped car. What was a tight battle for third has now stretched out, as Doug Keller, now in sole possession of third. He's gotten ahead of Lyle Dietrich and Jalen Wettengale. 5 laps to go. Normally we'd be seeing the checkered flag here, but with the extra laps, now another lapped car. David Hendrix having a tougher time getting around the 24, who has heavy damage, as Craig Wright, he's putting up a big fight with your current race leader, David Hendrix, but Hendrix will finally clear him as he will get the 3 to go sign off of turn 4, completing lap 22. Hendrix lead now 1.9 seconds over Robert White Jr. Doug Keller a little over 2 seconds behind White for third, as the white flag in the air for David Hendrix. David Hendrix coming in with a 4-point advantage in the points. A winner 2 weeks ago. That was the last Big Adventure RV Weekly Racing Series show we had, so he will officially make it 2 in a row.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That track was awesome. This is my favorite kind of track. The blacker it gets, the better we like it, you know. So I'm just thankful the car was working good. I was my brake pedal was getting a little spongy there for a while, and I know Rob's real good running around the bottom, and I seen he got to second, and I thought, oh man, I got to get my ducks in a row here. He's going to catch me. So
many times around.
As they come around, Shane, it is into 3 and out of 4. Oh, I'm glad you did that. I didn't have the breath to do it. Green flag flies, and we're underway. The 83 of J.C. Newell out at the point into turn 1.
Andy Bryant tucks his nose to the inside, tries to make a pass coming off of turn 2. Not going to happen. He very wisely decides to lift off the gas and give it another go in turns 3 and 4. Good racing up front. Wow, what a logjam back there for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. As it's J.C. Newell and Andy Bryant running 1-2. Ryan Eddy in 3rd, Quentin Taylor in 4th. E.T. making a good move as he's up to 5th. And then you got Chris Jackson and Mitchell Franklin as 2 cars.
As they come into 3 and out of turn 4. Newell brings them around this time. Green flag from Striegel. We're underway.
And Team Allen having a good showing right now with J.C. Newell out in front of the 83. That is Scotty Allen's son-in-law in that Scotty Allen chassis Eagle power plant. A 3-car length advantage over Andy Bryant. Top 3 cars all lined out, and then it's side by side as a car turned over in turn at number 4, coming in and making contact, as it's the 57 of Randy Ainsworth.
You can't overlook them. Here they come. Green flag this time.
It is in the air, and J.C. Newell, a good restart again. Andy Bryant, just to tell you what type of competitor he is and how he adapts to a track and what his car is doing. Now you see him go to the top side. First real chance we've seen him do that tonight. He typically runs up there, but he has been down on the bottom of the track trying to take that low line away from J.C. Newell. He has always said, why follow the line and just run nose to tail. You got to do something different. He goes high side. How about Chris Jackson? He has come up, and now he is looking to the inside. He will try to fight for that top spot. Can J.C. Newell fend off the inside line and the outside line at the same time? Tries to nose down on Chris Jackson. Chris will have none of it. 3 wide on the backstretch for the lead.
It is 2 up front, side by side, into 3 out of 4 this time to the line. It's going to be Jackson, Chris Jackson, your leader with Andy Bryant in that second spot. J.C. Newell drops to third.
And J.C. Morton, who started back in 13th, he's up into the mix. That's another Team Allen race car. As he sits in 4th, he's going to go to the top shelf as the caution comes out. Quentin Taylor, and he is looking to set sail, presses down on the loud pedal, and we are back underway as Andy Bryant now trying to fend off J.C. Morton and J.C. Newell. A pair of J.C.'s back behind Andy Bryant.
Well, Chris Jackson, the 65, Lebanon, Missouri up front. Here comes the 28 of Andy Bryant, the 18 of J.C. Morton. Now the 99T of Eric Turner in that 4th spot as they roll through. The 83 in 5th. That is J.C. Newell.
Well, Doug, let me take you back about 4 weeks ago. Chris Jackson was out in front. J.C. Morton was running second. J.C. made a pass for the lead. Those top 2 cars collected one another over in turn 1. Depends on who you talk to as far as their vantage point of what happened. Now you're setting up for exactly the same thing as we approach the midway point. Question is, does J.C. Morton have enough to get back up with Chris Jackson?
Looks like J.C. Morton starting to close that gap little by little, lap by lap on Jackson, but is there enough room with just 11 laps to go?
Just 11 laps left, but I don't think we've seen our last caution yet either.
Absolutely. Halfway point coming up this time for the 65 of Jackson. J.C. Morton definitely closing the gap on your leader this time around.
J.C. Morton looking to make it 2 in a row here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He's also looking to make it 2 in a row on the weekend as he won at Dallas County Speedway last night. He is currently 2nd in the point standings here, 4 points back. Business is about to pick up as J.C. Morton cutting into that lead. It is now down to a 0.6 second advantage, and where he really picks up track position is going into turn 1. He starts to get right up on Chris Jackson, but once you get to the straights, that's where Chris Jackson's horsepower kind of shines as he starts to pull away from the 18. He is starting to build up on that lead. It is now over a second.
J.C. Morton would like to make it 2 in a row tonight. Would like to win this one, then turn around. He's got a late model race right afterwards. He'd like to make it 2 in a row here tonight. It is Chris Jackson, the Lebanon, Missouri number 65, your leader as they come around. 13 in the book, 7 to go. This time, the 18 of J.C. Morton in second. It's going to be a wild one.
And we've talked about these 2 cars battling it out. We've talked about the possibility of a caution. Look at the lap traffic now that these guys are going to have to navigate. It is 2, 3, and 4 wide, dead ahead of Chris Jackson and J.C. Morton. Here comes Morton to the inside. Lap traffic starting to play into it as Chris Jackson had to adjust his line, had to lift off the gas, and it gave J.C. Morton just a glimmer of hope as he was able to catch up with the 65, but now he has passed through 2 cars. Next in line to go a lap down would be Quentin Taylor. Look at that log jam up in front of Chris Jackson. He is going to root and gouge his way on that low side, try to clear some traffic, and now he's going to get stuck behind Jerry Ellis. Does J.C. Morton have a chance to get inside Quentin Taylor and make up some of that ground? Taylor putting up a big fight as now he gets even closer. J.C. Morton right on the back bumper of Chris Jackson. Hannah Frazee, a lap car. She will go a lap down. Now with 3 to go, Morton dive bombs in, even closer contact made. JC lifts off the gas just enough to let Chris Jackson correct. They both stay going in the right direction. Great piece of driving by both drivers. We'll see 2 to go, this time under the flag stand, and now they've gotten past that big gaggle of lap traffic. Now with just 2 to go, about a 5-car length deficit to the next round of lap traffic, as the white flag will come out. JC goes top shelf. You have to get out of line. Is he going to be able to make the cushion work and get a run off of turn 2? He had to do something different with the lap traffic. Is it going to pay off for JC Morton? Riding around the high side, not going to be able to make it work, as it is double flags for Chris Jackson. He will grab a feature win.
Yeah, hats off to these guys on this racetrack, man. I know I'm probably the world's worst to get on them when it gets a little rough and rainy, but you know, they do a fantastic job. This racetrack, in my eyes, everybody thinks of it differently. This is awesome. I'd race here every single day of the week if I could.
Those are your top 3 starting positions, as the green flag in the hand of Mike Striegel. He'll wave it high in the air, and we are underway. Our final feature of the evening from here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks.
It is
Johnny Fennewald, top side. Tries to pinch down on Larry Ferris in the 51. They go side by side off of 4, and Fennewald will have the advantage, completing lap 1.
It is Johnny Fennewald, the Flash, the 21, your leader from Appleton City, Missouri, in that second spot. The 51 that belongs to Larry Ferris. Ferris coming around. 72, J.C. Morton. Morton doing double duty here tonight, modifieds and in the late models in that 3rd spot.
Tucked back in 3rd, then it's side by side. McCoy drifting higher on the track as the hammer Cole Henson hammers down off of turn 2, clears McCoy, grabs 4th. Now it's side by side back for 6 as Chad Richwine doing battle with the 7J of Jake Morris.
Great job, the 21 of Appleton City's the Flash. Johnny Fennewald pulling away from the field. 51 of Larry Ferris in that 2nd spot, trying to hold on to the leader, the 72 of J.C. Morton. Morton in 3rd. He has got the hammer coming his way. Cole Henson in that 4th spot, looking to the inside of J.C. Morton.
4 laps down. This completes lap 5, and Bob Cummings already going a lap down to Johnny Fennewald. As action as Tucker Cox will plow in the white tire on the inside of
point for the Delaware restart as they come through. It is the 51 of Ferris, the 72 of Morton. Here they come, green flag this time through.
Good restart for all involved. And Johnny Fennewald tonight is hooked up. We heard from just about everybody that won a feature tonight that's gone down and talked to you, Doug, about how racy this track is, about how perfect it is with all the conditions involved. And you can see it now that the late models are on it. The heavier cars starting to lay down a little more rubber. It continues to get blacker and blacker as we go along, but still, it is to Johnny Fennewald's liking.
I got to talk to Danny Lorton. Danny Lorton taking the 2-seater out at intermission time. He even said at that time it was slick. So has had great slick track for all of the A-mains here tonight.
Yeah, running that 2-seater nearly put it in the wall over in turn 3. As Johnny Fennewald now out to a 2.5-second advantage over Larry Ferris. Got to give Larry Ferris some kudos in this. We hadn't seen him all season long. First night out that the 51 has made it to the track, and he is extremely racy from the get-go. Cole Henson now has gotten around J.C. Morton for 3rd, so Morton drops back to 4th. And again, with J.C., it's just about getting seat time. Jason Sybil's first night out, we've seen him, his car slowed on the front stretch, and his night concluded as he makes the left-hand turn. We already see the number 99 car that parked it quite some time ago in Larry Jones.
Halfway through here tonight as they come around, it is still the Flash, Fennewald, your leader, the 4-time champion right here at Lucas Oil Speedway, showing the way. Larry Ferris, the 51 in that 2nd spot. The hammer, Cole Henson, trying to get away from the 72 of J.C. Morton and trying to find second spot, taken away from Larry Ferris here tonight.
Well, Johnny Fennewald leaving no doubt in this one right now, as he has led wire to wire. So David Hendrix, a repeat winner in the stock car division. Other than that, we haven't had a repeat winner in any of our classes through 3 weeks now. If Johnny Fennewald is able to stay out in front, that will be the third winner we've had in this late model division. Nobody a clear runaway advantage in any of the classes as far as just knocking off win after win, with the exception of David Hendrix. Five to go as we complete lap number 15. Big gap between Johnny Fennewald and Larry Ferris was up to 5 seconds with 4 to go. Now it's up to 6 seconds. Then Cole Hinson next in line, another 4 seconds back. Again, for Johnny Fennewald, if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have had any luck at all. As far as what he went through the first few years, now it's starting to tighten up there with J.C. Morton and Cole Hinson in the 72 and the 31. Todd McCoy starting to make it a 3-car battle up in that mix. McCoy looking to the inside of Hinson. And with 1 to go, we pick up Johnny Fennewald. Fennewald's not one of those drivers that puts it on the edge too much. If he has to get up along the cushion, he will, but he just ticks away conservative laps and slow and easy wins the race for Johnny Fennewald.
Yeah, you know, we've had a lot of bad luck so far this year. If I couldn't do it without all my guys, especially Colton, man, he took this thing to West Virginia after the first week, and I mean, he's went overboard going back to Tony's, and that's another Tony Jackson. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be standing here tonight, because I mean, he's helped me out so much with this new car and all the sponsors and fans. I mean, I just can't thank everybody enough, because our luck hasn't been good, and we needed a night like tonight.